All right, ready to dive deep into the world of the ENTJ personality.
The commander.
Yeah, the commander. Known for their leadership, strategic thinking, and drive.
Always achieving.
That's it, always achieving. We're going to explore personality NFT and see what we can find out about these fascinating people.
And even subtypes.
Yeah. Assertive ENTJA, turbulent ENTJT.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is a lot to unpack.
They're captivating, these ENTJs. Their reputation precedes them. They're the ones naturally taking charge, the strategists, never shying away.
From a challenge.
Exactly.
Okay, so ENTJ, extroverted, intuitive, thinking, judging.
There's a pattern there.
Definitely sensing a pattern, like a recipe for a very effective personality. Maybe a little intimidating.
You're onto something, yeah. Each trait comes together to create this very specific ENTJ profile. Extroversion fuels their outward focus, how they engage with the world. Intuition guides their future-oriented thinking, seeing all the possibilities.
So they're not just in the moment, they're already thinking ahead.
Exactly. Thinking, of course, that's the logic part. Data over emotion, and then judging, that rounds it out.
Yeah.
Love of structure, planning, bringing order.
So that all makes them the natural leader,
Yeah,
like a chess master,
I love that analogy.
always thinking so many moves ahead.
Personality NFT says ENTJs set their sights on a goal, relentlessly pursue it, usually with success, and they just believe they can achieve anything.
Okay, but it can't all be smooth sailing, right? There's got to be some downsides to that drive.
Oh, of course, yeah. There's always two sides. Admirable ambition, sure.
Right.
But sometimes it comes out as ruthlessness
Oh,
or
well.
insensitivity to get that victory. High standards for themselves and everyone else, and they don't really sugarcoat.
So my way or the highway kind of thing.
Sometimes, yeah. And then there's the fascinating part,
Okay.
their relationship with emotions. It's a paradox.
Oh.
They might seem like these unfeeling machines, but really they're driven by strong internal values.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. So how do they reconcile those two things, logic and emotion?
Well, sometimes they don't. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Right.
You see, ENTJs put logic and efficiency above everything. They often see emotion as weakness.
Oh, wow.
One ENTJ actually said, "I don't care if you call me an insensitive bastard as long as I remain an efficient bastard."
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a statement. Gets the point across, though.
Yeah.
I get what you mean by paradox now. Deep sense of purpose, but maybe they struggle to really express it.
Exactly. And sometimes that spills into their relationships.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Creates challenges. But let's get into the cognitive functions behind all this.
Yes, let's dive into that, see what makes them tick.
Exactly. Personality NFT points out extroverted thinking, or TE, is their dominant function.
Okay.
And that explains the efficiency, the organization, the problem solving.
So it's not just bossy. It's a need for structure.
Absolutely. But there's more. Introverted intuition, or NI, that adds another layer.
Intuition. Seems different from all that logic.
It is, and that's what makes the combo so powerful. NIs is seeing patterns, anticipating possibilities, making long-term plans, like a sixth sense almost, for what's shaping events.
So 10 steps ahead, and they understand how the game works.
Exactly. T and NI together, they're incredible strategists, planners. They do so well in fields that need vision for the future, like business, politics.
Wow.
Even creative fields where you build something new.
Okay.
But wait, there's more. Extroverted sensing, or SARI, is tertiary.
They just keep getting more impressive. Okay, what's say?
That's what keeps them in the present.
Ah.
So adaptable, responsive to new information, enjoying what's around them. Strategic and spontaneous.
Enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm liking ENTJs more and more.
But there's one last piece. Introverted feeling, or FI. This one can be tricky.
Okay, I'm ready for the twist. What's Phi?
That's the values, their moral compass.
Oh.
Right and wrong. Deep convictions. Vulnerability, even.
So even though they seem tough, they have strong feelings about what matters.
Exactly. And sometimes that FI causes conflict. Drive for efficiency might clash with those values, makes them question things.
That is fascinating. How do they deal with that?
It's something we'll explore when we look at the subtypes, assertive and turbulent. But first, let's look at how all this plays out in their personal lives.
Yes. Relationships. Got to be interesting.
It is
Maybe intense?
definitely intense. Oh, yeah, super intense. ENTJs, their relationships, they're kind of like their professional style,
Focused.
focused, driven, wanting growth.
So goals, high expectations.
For sure.
Sounds like it could go really well.
It does.
Or crash and burn.
Right. Dating an ENTJ is an adventure. They're all in, passionate. They don't back down from challenges, even in love. You'll grow with them, push your limits, be your best self.
You can see that. But that communication style we talked about,
Yeah.
direct, honest,
Right.
could be tough in a relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little,
Crack.
Yeah,
That's the thing. They're honest.
Right.
Which is great,
Sure.
but it can be blunt, insensitive even, especially for someone sensitive. But they don't mean it that way. They just value truth
Okay.
more than anything. And they want that back from their partner.
So just be straight up, no games.
Exactly. Lay it all out, clear expectations. That's how they thrive, working together toward a goal.
Interesting. Okay, what about ENTJ parents?
Oh, that's fun.
I'm picturing like the super organized,
Right.
color-coded schedule.
They do have high expectations, yeah. Encouraging their kids' passions, all that.
Makes sense.
Skills excellence, wanting the best for them.
Of course, but you got to balance that, right? Kids need the emotional stuff too.
Absolutely. It's the biggest challenge for them, I think. Structure versus connection.
Yeah.
They got to remember to be warm, empathetic.
Yeah.
Say, I love you.
It's crazy how it all mixes together in one person.
Yeah.
Logic, drive, but also all this feeling, like a battle between their head and heart.
It really is. That's what makes them so interesting. That tension is where their struggles come from, where they're vulnerable, and it's how they grow. Speaking of interesting, let's look at some real-life ENTJs.
Yes. Examples, please.
Think Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah.
fiery chef, perfectionist,
Intense, that's him.
total ENTJ.
Okay, what about
Steve Jobs,
Steve Jobs? Yeah.
genius, changed how we communicate.
Visionary.
And, let's be honest, pretty demanding.
Classic ENTJ.
Totally. Then there's historical figures, like Franklin D. Roosevelt led America through tough times. Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady.
Wow. So many different areas.
Right. Kitchen, business, politics, they make their mark everywhere.
But they all have that core ENTJ stuff, right? The drive, the thinking.
Exactly. They see the problem, analyze it, make the plan, execute it perfectly. Like they're born knowing how to succeed.
Fascinating. Do we have any quotes from any of these ENTJs that kind of show us what's going on in their heads?
Steve Jobs said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Right. Pushing boundaries. Do your own thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
What about, before we move on, how rare are ENTJs? Are they everywhere or are they like hidden?
Personality NFT says about 2% of the population.
2%. So not common.
Nope. Definitely stand out.
Like a rare gem.
Exactly. And one more thing, they're blunt.
Yeah.
Like really blunt. They'll tell you the truth even if it's not what you want to hear. But that makes them such good leaders because they don't care about being popular. They just follow their own path.
Interesting.
Yeah. Challenging the status quo, questioning everything, fighting for what they believe in.
This has been so eye-opening. I feel like I get ENTJs now. More than just a bossy stereotype.
It's about the layers, right? Their drive is just one part. Underneath, they've got all this feelings, strong morals. They want to make a difference.
To our listener out there, think about the ENTJs in your life.
Yeah, think about them.
Maybe it's a coworker, always planning, a friend who pushes you.
Or maybe it's you.
Maybe it's you. How does it all show up in what they do, their decisions, relationships? How do they use that strategic thinking for challenges? That direct way of talking?
Think about it.
And the big question,
Yeah.
how can knowing this about ENTJs help you understand them better, have better conversations, work together, maybe even be a little more strategic yourself?
It's all about understanding ourselves and the people around us. Then we can communicate better, work together better, let everyone's strengths shine.
Well said.
Thanks.
This deep dive has been amazing. Really seeing ENTJs in a new light. Dynamic, driven, inspiring.
They are inspiring. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions.
And keep diving deep into personality.